Hi, recently someone told me that it is impossible to do any physics-based stuff in Unity without colliders and rigid body. So I thought, what if I try to make a platformer game mechanics without rigid body or collider? Which means custom physics. I have to make custom physics for all that to work. And if you have worked with jump mechanics in Unity 2D, you may know the rigid body default jump mechanics sucks. To make it interesting, I have a challenge for myself. I'll try to make it under 30 minutes and use least complex code. And I will cover all the major platforming mechanics like falling down, let's say gravity, walking, running, jumping, dash mechanics and wall hang. And without colliders and rigid bodies. So let's start with gravity and walking. I will use a very simple translate method to move the player around. But as you may have noticed, I don't need y-axis input and I have to apply gravity here. I will add separate functions for all different activities and I will add two separate variables for horizontal and vertical velocities. I will use raycast to detect grounds and colliders for most of the paths and use layer mask to reduce the overhead. And if I collide with the ground, then my vertical velocity will be 0, otherwise it will be -10 like how gravitational force work. A little gizmos to visualize our race. And our basic player is ready. Let's add jumping. If my player is grounded and if I press jump key, I will add vertical velocity. And boom, more crisp and fluid than Unity's default rigid body. Now I will add running. Like most traditional games, pressing the shift key will allow the player to run, otherwise it will just walk. Now I have to check horizontal collisions also, like walls in front of the player. So to detect that, I will use the same mechanics as ground collisions. I will mark a variable which will be used to restrict the forward motion. Now when the motion changes direction, I have to flip the player and also flip the raycast points. I will use a very simple method here which helps in the animation also. I will multiply the sign of the scale of the player to properly cast the ray in proper direction. Now let's make dashing. Dashing will be simple. I will use a dash timer to increase the speed for few seconds. As you can see, dashing is not very smooth here. It starts and stops very suddenly. So let's smooth it out. This slurping will do the trick. Dashing is very quick, so it may skip the wall check method, resulting into player going inside the wall, as we are not using Unity's physics. So we have to program it so that it doesn't go inside walls. So the solution is to use multiple raycast for accurate detection, which I am not gonna do this for this video. I will push the player back if the player is going inside any of the colliders. Now wall climb is left, which is not that hard. I'll simply detect if I'm in air and I'm having some vertical velocity, and if some wall is in front of me. Then I will slow down my fall velocity. I will use a fall multiplier to do this. If I want to keep the player stick to the wall, then I'll use the I'll make the fall multiplier to 0 so that it doesn't come down as far as it stick to the wall. And if I want to make it slide slowly towards the ground, then I'll give it some value so that it slides down the wall. So yes, we got a very simple, basic, functional and efficient player control, which is independent of Unity's 2D physics. So I have added more stuff to the script, more functions like crouch, wall climb, ledge hang, tuck, animations and more. It is actually for my indie game, which I talked about in my last video. Actually, my real player controller is similar to this one I've shown in this video, of course with more features. If you wanna have the script I used, you can get it from my Discord server, where I will share all the scripts or source code of my tutorials that I show in the videos. Thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments what you want to see next. Bye.